Hey guys, so we're back with another video today, and today is quite sunny. So you can see a lot of light on my face. It's just the sun, even if I've put the curtains, but the sun is still so hot that it's messing my face up. So things are quite white here. So yeah, so in today's video, we'll be covering a good concept, which I think I have not covered yet, which I'll tell you in a while what it is. So it's a good one, which is often very asked in most of the interviews. Okay, and it's quite something I would say, very important concept in most of the SQL in general, I would say. And anything else I want to talk about? Yes. So this is my question I created on my own. I thought about it, okay? But if you guys have any particular question that you have in your own mind and you would want me to solve it in a better way, or you have trouble in understanding that question and you want me to explain it for you, please comment down below. I would love to, make these videos, okay? I don't get any comments right now. So if you comment on it, I'll actually go and create a video on it because I have so much of time on my hand at this point. I'm pretty free right now. So I would love to make videos on whatever you would want me to make on. So yeah. And so yeah, let's go ahead and share the screen and I can actually show you the question and you can start solving on your own too. So let me share my screen. Okay, let's do this. So the question is very simple. So you have to write a query to retrieve employees with at least 5 years in the company as of today. So it's basically saying that get the name of employees who have been working for 5 years in this company. That's the simple question, to be put in simple words. So here is the create and insert statement for you guys. Okay, you can put it in your data and see, and this is the expected output, and this is the syntax that we have to use. I've written down it for you guys so you can understand what we really want to do in here. So yeah, pause the video right now. You know the drill. Okay, try to solve it. Spend 15 minutes on trying to create some solution which probably might work. Okay, and just to explain your data set. Okay, this is how the data looks like. I've run the query already, but let me run it again for you. So this is how it looks like, and this is how it looks like, and this is what you want output, which is basically find the years completed with one decimal. So that's something that's a requirement of this question. So yeah, I hope you guys are able to solve this, and I'll just go ahead and solve it for you guys. So yeah, so let me go ahead and solve this question. So yeah, let me just create the structure of this question. So what is the output in this? So they have the worker ID, then you have the full name, then you have the join date, resign date, and years completed. Okay, and let me go ahead and write down all the things. Okay, so I'm gonna write workforce. Okay, and yeah. So what is the first thing we want? We want the worker ID, um, worker ID. Okay, then we want the full name, and then what else do we want? We want the join date, join date. Okay, we want the join date. Okay, we want the join date, right? Yeah, so we want the join date. And what do we else want now? We want the design date. Okay, design date, and then we want the years completed. Okay, this is what we're looking at, right? Now the real logic is comes down to, so there are two logic in this, two parts of this question, is that how to calculate the years completed, and another thing is that the question, remember, read the question, with at least 5 years completed in the company as of today. So it's important that the employees should be working for at least 5 years now. Okay, so if I have to think for something, okay, how do I think of this? If something, okay. So when they say something like 5 years, I think I will have to use a where statement in here, because yeah, because we have to have greater than 5 years, right? That is the question requirement for today. So that's one the question, and another would be the question to finding this years completed. So years completed is a very simple thing, and to do this, we have to use a function called as date difference in here. And yeah, so let me start ahead by writing this function for you guys, and I'll share it with you guys. So let me write it. Date difference, okay, and date difference, and what is this? So month part. So there is month. So I want to calculate the difference in months. Okay, that is my goal. I'm trying to do it. And so here is the date part. So in here you can put it as years, you can put as months or days also. For me, it is easier to calculate by a month. So I want to calculate the difference in months. That's the way. And then I'm going to divide it by 12. So let me put the start date as join date. Okay. And then the resign date here. Let me just run it and show you guys as years past. What is the output they want? Years completed. So let me just put it whatever they want it as. Okay, years completed. Completed, right? Completed. Spelling right? Yeah. So if I run this, let me see what the output looks like. Okay. Now observe one thing. Okay. Now what has happened in here is that we have used a simple date function in here. And what we have done is that it has basically, so date difference does nothing, but it subtracts the start and the end date. And as I specified, I want the difference in months. So here you can put anything. You can put year. You can put as whatever you would want. Okay, you can put year, you can put as dates also. For me, I want it as months, so that's my preference. Like, and here you can observe that the reason you are seeing null in the years complete is because what it's trying to do is that it is saying null minus the join date, and the output is definitely null because it's the basic arithmetic. So null minus something like a date in here will give you a null value. But if you observe in here you're getting it as 59, 83, and something like this, right? So this is the logic where so this is where the problem comes in. And how to solve this? So there is something called as COALESCE, okay, that we have to use in here. So let me show you guys what this is. This is okay. So what is COALESCE? Okay, COALESCE is nothing but what it does is that it just filters out the null values. So wherever there is a null value, it will give you. So I want to calculate as of today, right? So what I'm trying to do in here is that I'll show it to you just a minute. So what I've done in this is that, okay, what is this part doing? So what coalesce part is doing is that it's saying that if there is a null values, you have to replace it by the get date. So get date basically pulls out today's date, which is March of 1st, 2025. And then it subtracts and gives you the value that you really want. So that is what the role of coalesce does. So if there is no null value, it's just gonna put it as the resign date and continue as it is. So that is what the use of coalesce is here. Okay, I hope you understand it. If it's basically about filtering and handling the null values is what we are trying to do in here as of now. So if you observe one thing here, what you've done is that, so wherever there's a null value, so it is calculated 2015 by today's date, which is 2025 March and 1. So it has given us the years completed. Now, what I want is I want it to be, I want it to be years in a year scenario. So I'm dividing it by 12. Okay, let me see what output I get. So I'm getting it as, 10, and I'm getting it as all these values. Okay, so I think we are at a stage where we have found what we really want in here. And yeah, so I hope you have understood what I've done here. So if you understand the date difference logic, which is the month, which is the date part, which you want to subtract it, okay, and the join date is nothing but the start date, and the end date has to be the resign date. And what I've done is simply is that I've taken the coalesce here because to handle null values, simple as that. Now this is what I've done here. Now, the problem that you can see in here is that we personally want 10, 6.9, 8.3, 5.9, 5.5. So the favorite way that I personally have to handle such decimal problem is use something called as cast. Okay, so I love using cast simply because yeah, let me just show it to you guys. Okay, and yeah, so I put cast here, and I'm gonna put as decimal. Okay, decimal. Okay, and 4 comma 1. Yeah. Okay, so let me run it and show you to guys if we're getting what we want. So we're getting we still have to filter it out right now, but we have basically done, like, let me explain the cast thing. Cast is nothing but it is basically about how much decimals we want. So the syntax is that, so you observe one thing. I put everything in in brackets. Okay, and so if you have to write cast here and as decimal and 4 comma 1. Now what is the use of 4 comma 1? Let me explain you. So what 4 in here is that it is basically the total number of digits. either to the left or the right of the decimal, okay, point, okay. So if you observe one thing in here, that it is saying, so in here there are basically three here. So there is two on one side and one here. So it's three here. Here it is for one and one. So there's two here, okay. So what I'm saying is that I want the total should just be around four, okay. Total should be four, and one is nothing but the number of digits I want to the left, to the right of the decimal, right? So if I make something like this here, okay, um, let me show it to you. So I'm getting this thing. So and similarly, I can increase it, okay, and it's gonna give me that value. Let me see, it's giving an error. Do you know why this error is happening? Because let me explain. So if you observe one thing, we are only allowed four in total. So on both the side. So when you allow three decimal, so something like, let's say, 10 point something, okay. So it is saying that 10 point and it's giving three decimal. So it becomes a five in total, okay. And that's the reason you cannot have. But if I, let's say, do six here, okay, let me see if this problem gets solved or not, okay. You see the problem has been solved. So it's like 10 here, and I'm saying maximum of six allowed. So we have solved the problem that we wanted. So that's a basic logical, it's very good tool to use, particularly to handle decimal values. So I'm gonna um, give it to the original one, which is 4 1, which the way we want. So I hope you have understand the logic behind cast, date difference, and get date, which is a function to use basically for if you want to pull out the current date. That is the use of get date. Now you have to understand another part of the question is that it is at least 5 years. So we have to understand that we have to use something called as a where statement because we have to filter it, right? So I'm going to use where, and I'm going to filter it by, let's say, date diff, okay. And then I'm going to use something called as the same logic we used early on, which is the month part, okay. I'm going to use the same thing here. Let me write it down. Month, join date, okay, join date, and then I'm going to use something on COALESCE, okay, and I'm gonna use resign date, okay. Then I'm gonna use get date, okay, get date, yeah. So I think this is working all right. I feel yes, and 60. So let me explain to you. So I hope you guys have understood what I've done. So what I'm saying is that key so this is date diff, okay, and I'm saying that the difference of the difference between the join date and the resign date should be more than 60, which is basically 5 years, okay. That's what I'm trying to say. So what it would do is that for something like let's say 4.9 and something like 3.2, it will be removed. Let me run it. So what it has done is that everything which was below, let's say, uh, below 5 has been removed here, and that is something that we basically have done it, okay. So this was the entire logic behind using this, okay. Now let's say, for example, if I use something like here and here, okay. So let's say, let me show it to you. Now what has happened here, observe one thing. So what this part does is that it's basically saying that, okay, different do a difference between the resign date and the join date by year now, okay. So if you observe one thing, why is it giving more than or equal to 5 here, but it's 4.9 here, okay. So whenever you're trying to subtract, okay, by year, okay, it does not calculate the exact date. So what it basically is doing here is that it is saying 2022 minus 2017 is 5. So basically it's not able to calculate and understand that it's basically 4.9, okay. So it's saying 2022 minus 2017 is 5, so it has to be in this thing, okay. So that is a understanding where to use the year and where to use a month. So personally, my preference is that in this logic, I really prefer using the month factor in here. So I'm just gonna do like as they want it to be 5 years. So I have an understanding. 5 years, nothing but 12 months. So I'm just going to like go ahead and oh sorry, I had to run the entire thing. Yeah. So we are getting what we really wanted, from basically what we wanted, and we're getting the output. I think I made this wrong here. One, two, three. Oh, this is right. Yeah. So we're getting the output that we wanted, which is the work ID, the full name, the join date, the resign date, and I'm getting the simple, the way we wanted, which is a good understanding of the logic behind it. So this question basically covered few aspects, which is date difference, cast, okay, and get date, and yeah, I think these were the and coalesce. Okay, these are few logic which I thought was pretty good enough for you guys to understand and to execute this. Um, so yeah, that's about it for this today's video. I hope you guys like this video and you actually learned something. So try to, for every video I try to, cover a new topic, and I'm thinking about like, okay, should I do join videos in the next video? So every video has something new in it always. Okay, so my objective is that, okay, I need to impart values in such a way which you all learn new concepts, okay, every time you watch my video. So till then, thank you for watching my video. Please like my video. I'm aiming for like 5 likes for this video. I'm not getting those 5 likes and continuously on my videos. I'll really appreciate if you could like this video, only if it offered value to you. So yeah, till then, have a good day. Take care. Bye, and take care.